What's up, guys? Logan here. Last weekend we got 8th place at the Philadelphia Regional with Fire King Snake Eye. Before I get into the deck profile, I want to give shout outs to everybody who loaned me cards: Evan, Sergio, Thomas, Butters, and Eric. Shout out Tom's Crab Shack. Shout out Dan and Jose for helping me with the side deck the night before, and shout out my sponsor, Card Shark. Getting into it, we played the standard Snake Eye ratios. I did start siding out the Temple a little more into matchups that weren't the Fire Mirror, and honestly that made my side patterns a lot easier. Maxed out on the Bonfire 1-for-1. This card is a really good push that isn't tied to your Snake Eyes cards or your Witches, so I just think you'd always want to play it. You would play more copies if it wasn't limited. Fire King cards, we played the standard ratio of the monsters, but for spells we played the one island instead of Sanctuary as well. Sanctuary just wasn't necessarily needed for a lot of the one-turn combos. I didn't expect people to be on like Ogre or anything that would punish me for it, and not drawing it like every 7 or 8 games was really nice. We've also maxed out on the Witches and the Wanteds. You just always want to see this card. It makes your 2-card combo stronger, and it helps you have more ways to play through hand traps. I still thought the hand trap variant of the deck was the best, so we played 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, 3 Mourner, 3 Imperm, and 1 Nib. These cards all just pair with each other better than they pair with Nib, because, you know, sometimes you hand trap them and you prevent them from getting to a place where they can play into the Nib. And also this card's just really awkward into decks that aren't Fire, and at a regional, you're usually not going to play against as many Fire decks. So I was happy with keeping it to 1 copy for the weekend. And the last 3 non-engine we played were 3 Crossout. This card's just really strong, beating hand traps, or in the mirror match, hitting engine if they don't actually stop you. It was just really good all weekend. For the extra deck, we played a very standard extra deck. Just Link Karibo, Charmers, IPSP, Phoenix, Sunlight Wolf. Not much to be said about that. For the Link 3s, played Celine, Heat Soul, 2 Princess. I still think the Princess is just mandatory in this Fire King build specifically because of the lines through Nib, and it does actually come up on the crackback a lot of the time. Then for the Link 4s, we played Phoenix, Zelantis, Apo, and Axis Code. I still think this card is a lot better than something like Ambla will, because it wins you a higher percentage of the games that you summon it. It's really important into decks like Voiceless where stuff isn't targetable, and sometimes you can go for this, enter battle phase, force them to Nib, and then pivot into this, and you can just still kill them. Finally, for the side deck, we played 3 Fenrir. This card is just really good in hand trap wars. It wins you that simplified game state, and into shifter decks you at least put this up and you have something until you can get back to your turn and try to play. Played Druid Worm and Magnemite. I only wanted to side 2 Bestials in against the pure deck, so I cut the second Druid Worm. Played 2 Nibs in case we played against the Fire deck and we just wanted more hand traps, and then a 1 Droll as a crossout target. Then for spells, we played the 3 Lullaby, 2 Talents, 1 Duster, and 1 Called By. Going second into the Fire Mirror matches, I was siding in the Lullabies and the Talents along with the hand traps and taking out the Fire King engine, and that worked really well for me, honestly. This just going first is another way to play through hand traps is really solid. Round 7, I think, I used it to take a Snake Eye Ash, and when they drolled me later on, I used the second one and called Oak, and because they couldn't add it to my hand because of Droll, I got 2 free bodies out of that. Talents was really good going first and second, and this just like randomly would out of hand trap going first, but also out of the Puppet Lock. For our matchups, round 1 we played against Goaty Runic, round 2 we played against Raid Raptor, round 3 and 4 Voiceless Voice, round 5 the Fire King Snake Eye Mirror, round 6 was another Voiceless, round 7 was our first loss to Shu. He was on pure Snake Eyes. Round 8 we beat pure Snake Eyes, and round 9 we ended up tying to Runic Stun. So overall, he finished 7-1-1 on the weekend. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.